What's good, y'all? It's your boy Shane Hector from WBGR. No BS, no holds barred. We are back. And of course, myself and Mr. Unregulated is in the building. Back and in full effect. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to get crazy because we got to talk about a lot of craziness that's been going on in sports this past week. It's been utterly crazy. Not to mention all the things that's been happening in the NFL and, UFC, baseball, all of it. That number to call is going to be 301-429-9247. That's going to be that number to call. So, let's jump right into it, because I've been saying this for the longest that, stuff done got real. Mr. Unregulated, let's talk about last week in NFL, man. We gotta really talk about this. So,
do we have to?
Yeah, we really kind of have
Oh
to.
my God.
Yeah, this was a horrendous week. There's a lot of teams this week that it's starting to take form of who they're gonna be, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. The New York Giants are not gonna make the playoffs. They're not going to make it. No question to me now.
What if they switch quarterbacks? What if this
Even if they switch quarterbacks, I don't think that's going to help. They have a really good talent in Saquon Barkley. They have an excellent talent. The problem is that offensive line is so darn terrible. I don't even know what to tell you of how bad that offensive line is. I've never seen a line that gives up that many sacks in the history of the league the way this team does. And mind you, they've got Nate Solder on that offensive line. He's arguably one of the best pass protectors in the league since he was protecting Tom Brady throughout those Super Bowl years, those 2 Super Bowl years we had in the past couple of seasons. It mind boggles me how all that is happening, and Eli, for some odd reason, can't get no time.
Well, I mean, you have. I don't know if it's that Eli can't get any time, or is Eli taking too much time? Is Eli stepping up in the pocket? What is Eli doing? Eli looks terrible, and I'm not going to be so quick just to blame it on the offensive line. They may not be the best offensive line, but I mean, you can't expect your offensive line to give you 5 seconds every time you drop back.
That's all well and good, except again, it don't make okay. Let's just talk about it. First off, you mean to tell me that that you can't put all the blame on the offensive line with the way they've been playing these past couple of games?
Well, I'll have to look at the tape of the.
That Saints game, they definitely should have won that one, but they found a way to screw that up because of how bad the offensive line played. We're not even going to talk about the Jaguars because they should have won that one too. But again, because the offensive line didn't block and do their job, Eli can't get no time. But when he does get time, Eli's phenomenal. He looks like a Hall of Fame quarterback. The fact that I've seen him throw for 300 yards in a game this season, it doesn't make sense to me how you have all this offensive talent at the skill position, but at the offensive line position, nobody seems to want to block. I don't know why. They might play differently under a different quarterback, but I don't see it. And honestly, who do the Giants have as a backup quarterback? Who?
I have no clue. But
exactly my point.
But I'm not going to be too quick to blame on that offensive line. I'll have to watch the tape over the past 4 or 5 games to see what the problem is. But from what I can see is that Eli. Eli's not making good decisions. Eli is not getting rid of the ball fast enough. He's not stepping up in the pocket. So I mean, and then when he does gets a throw off, it looks like a duck. I mean, it's ugly. I honestly think Eli is hurting his Hall of Fame. I mean, he's going to be. Hopefully, he will make the Hall of Fame. But right now, it's his career is taken away from his Hall of Fame status right now.
That may very well be true, but again, you're talking about a quarterback who definitely beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm just saying. Everybody could always I want to say, well, it was the defense, blah blah blah. No, it was Eli throwing up 2 miracle passes that literally put the Patriots away. I'm just keeping it 100. That's just what it is. That David Tyree catch is going to go down as one of the most miracle catches of all time. It is still immortalized even to this day. And mind you, he's not even in the NFL no more. That guy got cut right after the Super Bowl. Yeah. So, and then after that, he throws a touchdown pass straight to Plaxico Burress when there was a mismatch between Ellis Hobbs and a 6'5" Plaxico Burress. Then you fast forward to 2011. This is the very same quarterback, just so everybody's paying attention. The very same quarterback who throws the same pass to, who is that? Hakeem Nicks? Nobody thought he was going to. No, Mario Manningham. Throws it up, toe taps, and then next thing you know, there it was. And next thing you know, this man finds a way to win that game. I noticed that when the Patriots play the NFC East in the Super Bowl, they don't look too good. They are 1-3 in the NFC versus the NFC East in the Super Bowl. But when they play the NFC South in the Super Bowl, they seem to be undefeated. So that's why when people was like, "Well, what if the Saints and the Patriots see in the Super Bowl?" I'm like, the Patriots are gonna win because it seems like they always beat the teams that are in the NFC South. They don't beat the teams in the NFC East for some strange reason. They already lost to they lost to the Eagles, but they beat the Eagles. But both times I saw the Giants, it didn't end well. Just saying.
Guess the numbers don't lie.
Yeah. So, and in other news,
I see you got your giant blue on today too.
Yeah.
That's why you're fighting for him so hard, huh?
Yeah, no, because I feel for the Giants, I really do. And then OBJ and his antics, after last night's game, I don't know if you saw the game last night, but that was bad, really, really bad.
What did he do?
Well, for those of you who haven't seen this past week, especially last night, if anybody watched that game, OBJ decided that it was okay to go punch the fan, the cooling fan, mind you. Like the fan has the fan has feelings too. You may not be able to hurt the fan, you'll be hurting yourself. But he punched this little fan, that was that cools down the players, and all because he was frustrated with the loss. He left at halftime, and then he wanted to say that he was cramping. First off, I don't believe he was cramping.
So he left. He didn't reach. He left at halftime.
He returned in the game, but he left right before halftime.
Wow. So I mean, who does this guy think he is?
Well, here's the problem. This is.
I mean, honestly, if you had an old school coach right now. His butt will be off the team. Who do you think you are?
Okay, well, I hate to say this, newsflash, this is what happens when you give him the money. I mean, he was like this before he got the money. He's only worse with the money. He's still talented because he's still producing. But you know what I think? About him? And I really don't want to compare him to this player because this player I'm about to talk about is a Hall of Fame player.
T.O.
Thank you. You hit the nail right on the head. I think of T.O. every time because I've never seen a guy who has these kind of antics and I mean, I get it. You're passionate because you want to win. But newsflash, you decided to stay in New York. You decided to stay there. You could have easily took the franchise. You could have been like, just give me the franchise tag because I know that's what y'all are going to do. And then after that, take your chances in free agency because somebody would have signed you. They're not going to just let you sit out there. No team in the history of the NFL would have let OBJ sit out there in free agency. He could have easily did that, but he didn't do that. No, he wanted the money.
There's one team that would have.
Who?
There is one team that would have.
That would have what?
Let his butt sit out there.
Who?
The Patriots.
Yeah, we would have.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's too much money.
The Patriots would have.
There was too much money involved. The Patriots they're thieves. They like to steal.
I mean, we did it with Randy Moss. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you there. I mean, the Patriots do be getting players for pennies.
But on a serious note, I mean, you can't put your hands on fans, staff, and you can't act out because
it wasn't a fan. It was a fan, like an object, and an object that doesn't move.
Oh, you talk okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about actual person. I was
Nah.
like, what? I didn't see that or hear about that.
Nah, he punched the fan like a fan, like something that
Oh,
cools you down.
the big fan.
Yeah.
Oh, he punched the big fan. Oh, okay.
Again, you saw what happened last year when he kicked the kicker's net and all that stuff. It's like, dude, like, yeah, you gonna do. I'm like, you need to get it together.
So he's like a big child that got his football taken and he's kicking the dirt saying, "Give me my football back."
I'm so glad somebody else said the same thing I was thinking. But it is what it is. What can you do? But that was part of the headlines all last week.
Yeah.
And it's been to me, it's been all fun and games to me. It's all fun and games. 'Cause I actually think it's hilarious because it's like the Giants are slowly imploding on themselves. But at the end of the day, what can you do?
Do we still have to call them the Giants? Giant means huge, big. I mean, right now they're laying on their back.
You know you ain't right. All right, so let's go ahead and go look at the picks, right?
Ants.
For this weird.
The word ants is in giant.
We're gonna make some picks this week. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't get offended if I don't pick your team this week. It's nothing personal. It's just strictly business. I'm just simply telling you the facts. The facts are some of y'all about to lose this week. So we already know the Eagles and Giants played. We already know the outcome. Eagles already won that. I already knew they was gonna win anyway, so it didn't really make a difference because the Giants is trash. Falcons and Buccaneers. I'm picking the Falcons in this one. Your thoughts?
I'll pick the Falcons as well.
Okay. Chargers, Browns. Everybody's gonna call me crazy. I'm like, look, after what I saw last week, the Browns beat the Ravens. Don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. I have said this before. The Browns are legit. So I'm gonna say it again. The Browns are going to win at home. 28-14.
Yeah, they played a really, really good game last week. They played a really, really good game last week, but you have to understand that one quarterback, Flacco, and then you have another quarterback, Phillip Rivers. So I mean, Rivers is that much better than Flacco. So with the score being, what was the score? 16 or 13 or something. It was a 3-point game. So I have to go with the Chargers. I have to think that Phillip Rivers will be able to score a touchdown or two.
Not when you've got a team like the Browns defense. That Browns defense is legitimate. I have to say, like, they've held some teams down. I mean, Pittsburgh, we thought was going to be a high-flying game, and they held them to just 21 points. And then, that ended in a tie. Now, that Raiders game kind of made them look bad, but they came very close to winning that one. But they beat the Jets, held them to 14 points. And then the Ravens held them to, 13? I mean, come on now. Like, I'm sorry. That Browns defense, it's something about it. Now, if Baker Mayfield gets going, yeah, Browns definitely going to.
Now, see, ladies and gentlemen, what you all heard. Yes, you did hear it. That was a 911 call. It was a 911 call. This guy he's going to need the EMS in a minute going with the Browns. I mean, come on. I mean, let's be real. How many games do you think they're going to win this year?
I haven't been wrong about the Browns so far. So, I mean, that's just what it is. I haven't been wrong about them so far. So, I'm gonna keep rolling with them dogs.
The old Baltimore.
Yep.
Colts.
All right, so Colts, Jets.
Was that disrespectful?
Yeah, you are. But I'm actually, since you brought up the Colts, I'm actually gonna roll with them in this one. I don't think the Jets got the firepower to beat the Colts. Colts got smacked last week by New England. They feeling some type of way. They're gonna be like, put some respect on it. So I got the Colts in that.
Yeah, I have to go with the Colts as well. I'm gonna ride with you this week.
Yeah. Seahawks, Raiders, I think that one's going to be a good game, but I honestly think the Seahawks just might edge them just a little bit. Just a little, because I don't trust that Raiders defense.
Well, you went against the Seahawks last week.
I know.
And I told you not to.
But the Seahawks still lost, though.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they still lost, though. They still lost.
What was the point? Well, they covered, though.
They covered.
Yeah.
They did cover it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Still lost. But I'm picking the Seahawks this week.
Yeah, I'll definitely pick the Seahawks as well. This should be easy for the Seahawks. The Raiders just haven't shown me anything, and I'm still waiting for reports of John Gruden firing somebody or something. He's going to have to shake something up.
Son, they signed him for a 10-year, $100 million deal. That coach is not going.
No, not him. Maybe someone on his staff. I mean, somebody's got to take the blame.
Yeah, I feel you.
You got to shake something up.
I feel you. All right, so Panthers, Redskins. After what I saw last week, because I should have never picked y'all, and I'm probably never gonna do that for the rest of the season.
I told you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ever bet on the Redskins ever again. I'm picking the Panthers in this one since it seems like y'all got an interesting relationship with the NFC South for some strange reason. It seems like when y'all see the NFC South, y'all be struggling, but when y'all see any other NFC team, there's always a shot that you could win that game. Not when it comes to the NFC South. So no, I got the Panthers in that one. That ain't gonna end too well. I think it's gonna be 38-23.
Well, this is the week that you should have went with the Redskins.
Okay.
The way the Giants played the Panthers tells me that if the Redskins come to play, that they can win. So I'm gonna go with the Redskins.
Well, they
this
didn't
week.
come to play last week. I don't expect them to come to play this week.
They better come to play this week. I mean, Josh Norman, and you know what? I'm not. Everybody's putting a lot of blame on Josh Norman, and I wouldn't be so quick to do that.
Right.
You know, Josh Norman in the media this whole week has said all the right things. Mm-hmm. You know, he's taking responsibility. He's praised his teammates. But when I look at the tape, this is not Josh Norman. This is not the Josh Norman I know. Even Josh Norman is way off, or someone else missed an assignment, or something wasn't communicated correctly. What we saw last week, Josh Norman being 15 yards behind a receiver that's wide open, that doesn't happen. This is a lockdown corner, stride for stride, step for step. Maybe the defense needs to be simplified, or maybe it was Swearinger or someone else was supposed to pick up the long route. I don't know, but this don't seem like Josh Norman. So, you know, I'm going to go with the Redskins. I'm going to say this secondary will be much better this weekend. And I'm also going to say one thing. Jay Gruden has been getting killed in the media about the lack of run, the lack of a running game, and being consistent with something. So I expect to see Adrian Peterson and maybe Bibbs. They're going to have they should have at least 30 total carries this week.
All right, so Bills Texans. I got the Texans running that one. They beat the Cowboys last week, and you know. And that was a pretty good fashion on Sunday night. That was a really good game. But I got the Texans winning that one. Not even thinking about that one.
You know, although I did pick the Texans to win last week, they did it in a real ugly fashion. I mean, I was not pleased with that at all. They did win. Now they come up against the mighty, mighty Bills. And with New York being wide open, I'm going to say the Bills become the team of the state of New York. I'm going to say the Bills will win. I'm going to go with the Bills.
Yeah, you're bugging. Cardinals is it Cardinals versus Vikings? Vikings. I'm not even thinking about it. The only reason why the Cardinals could even have a chance is if their rookie quarterback finds a way to start getting it done, but I don't see it. So I got the Vikings winning this one.
Well, yeah, the Vikings should win this one easily, unless this is one of Kirk Cousins' games. He has several of them every year. I mean, he's a gunslinger, but there are four to five games every year that he gets colorblind and he throws those 2-3 interceptions and can't find his receivers. I'm going to go with the Vikings, but it would not surprise me if this is one of those games that Kirk Cousins just stinks and the Cardinals end up winning the game by 1.
All right, Steelers, Bengals. I got the Bengals winning that one just because something about that Bengals football team this year is really where they're on top of the division. They're playing very good football. A.J. Green seems to be the Raven killer. Maybe he might be the one to be the Steeler killer. I have no idea. But I got the Bengals winning that one, but I do believe it's going to be tight, though, because I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I definitely got that 35-32.
WKRP in Cincinnati. You know, the Bengals always look, I mean, since Marvin Lewis been there, I mean, the Bengals have always been somewhere at the top of that division and always have looked good. They never can get over the hump. I don't think that this is the week to praise the Bengals. I don't think this is the week the Bengals can come out with a victory. The Steelers are desperate right now. I think you see an old Pittsburgh Steelers team that controls the clock, and I'm gonna tell you, once they control the clock with their run, then you have to look out for AB. I mean, this guy can possibly have 200 yards this week on big strikes.
Okay. Now, then you've got. Now let's see. We got the Bears and Dolphins. So one of our guys who is working our show currently now, my man Manny in the back. Okay, diehard Bears fan. I love this man to death. We're on with the Bears, baby. We're on with the Bears. That defense this year is tough. It's tough, hard-hitting defense. That front seven is playing well. I don't like the secondary, though, but because I think they're suspect. But I do like that front seven, especially with the addition of Khalil Mack as it being there. That boy is he's a freak. Yeah, he's a freak. So, as far as I'm concerned, I got the Bears winning that one. Plus for the Patriots, they need the Bears to win this game. So that way the Patriots can still stay on top of the division, even though they're on top right now.
So you're picking with wishful thinking and your heart.
No, I'm not picking for wishful thinking because the Bears right now, they have the number 4 as a rushing offense in the NFL. There's this that I just don't trust them in the air because the Dolphins defense is actually is in the top 15 in pass defense when the Bears are number 24 in passing offense. Not good. So that's why I expect the Bears to pound the football, pound it, play defense, play old school football. Getting back to the Bears days. I like it.
That sounds about right. So if the Bears pound and get back to the old school football, I would think the game plan for the Dolphins would probably be the same thing. Pound, get back to old Dolphins football.
How they gonna do that? They ain't gonna run it back.
So who are you taking? Are you taking McMahon? Or are you taking Marino?
Well, Marino and McMahon didn't play at the same time, so
that's not the question. Are you taking McMahon? Or are you playing Marino? Or are you taking Marino?
Well, I'm gonna take McMahon because McMahon played in the Super Bowl last time I checked and got a ring, so Marino didn't get there.
I'm going to take Marino.
I'm sure you are.
So I'm going to take the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Dolphins this weekend, and I'm going to take the Dolphins just because I think that Tannehill can possibly put. I mean,
such a bum.
But he may be a bum. But when you look at the game plan, they have the game plan for this pass rush. I think they will protect Tannehill, not all game, but I think he will be able to get off 2 or 3 good downfield strikes, which will put them over the top. I don't think the Chicago Bears are capable of scoring. I don't think they're going to put up 21 points this weekend. They may put up 12, 13, but I would say that the Dolphins will probably put 17 up. So I'm going to pick the Dolphins this weekend.
All right.
And your mighty Rams. And I know you're picking the Rams today.
Yes, you're right. I'm so glad you figured that out. So let's not even talk about the Rams. So Rams over Broncos, unanimous decision, like that. Ravens Titans. I got the Titans winning this one because the Titans are playing at home. The Ravens in their history, granted, they usually beat the Titans, but this Titans team is a lot different than years past. This is a team that won the playoffs last year. They've beaten the Super Bowl champion Eagles, and they've also beating the Jaguars, who was ranked the number 1 overall defense in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So I got the Titans winning this one, just based on the fact that the Titans, they got some pretty decent pieces. I just don't like their receivers, but I do believe the Titans could pull it out some way.
So the Titans are at home. So that means they're probably 3-point favorites.
Right.
I'm going to go with the Ravens because I don't think the Ravens will. I don't think they are going to lose 2 weeks in a row. I mean, last week against the Browns was a hard-fought game. It was kind of sloppy and nasty, but I think they put it all together this week, and I think you see the Ravens that you saw in the first couple of weeks, and I think this will be a game where you'll look back and you'll say, "Oh my God, the Ravens are for real."
Okay. Jaguars. I don't even know why I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Jaguars.
Those girls. I'll never.
Yeah, we're not even gonna talk about the Cowboys. Yeah. We already know. Unanimous decision, Jaguars. Chiefs and Patriots. So since you decided to,
Just one thing for the Cowboy fans out there. We may not talk about the Cowboys. Yes, we're going against the Cowboys, but I like your colors.
so Chiefs Patriots Sunday night in Foxborough.
Oh,
This is the game of the week.
now CVS, Walmart, they usually have the Heinekens, the 12-pack of Heinekens on sale, the Coronas. Which one has it? Because I'm going to be ready for this game right here. The Coronas will be on ice.
Yes.
The nachos with the melted cheese will be in the dish.
Mm-hmm.
I just need somebody to cut the vegetables up for me, green peppers and onions.
Oh yeah, and get the stuff.
I'm going to throw a Super Bowl party this weekend. Oh, it's not the Super Bowl, is it?
Yeah, but you got stuffed peppers too, a little bit of pizza too.
Who you going with? Because it's going to determine if it's a we or not.
This is really going to be tough because my mind says pick the Chiefs.
Oh, really?
My mind says pick the Chiefs.
Wow. Why would your mind say that?
Because I saw something last week that I did not see before from Patrick Mahomes. I thought he was just lighting it up against all these different teams, but I wanted to see how he did against the number one defense, and he shredded them. Even though he threw 2 interceptions, but they weren't his fault. Those 2 picks that he threw was not his fault. But it really, really got me how he threw 313 yards. Now, here's the thing. There was only one other quarterback that threw over 300 yards on the Jaguars defense within the past couple of years, and that was the guy he's about to face tonight, Tom Brady. There's only one other person.
Again.
So that's why it's...
Again.
But my heart says you got to roll with New England. Because New England is at home. The defense is coming together, finally. They came together in the past 2 weeks. Dolphins, in that Dolphins game, they only gave up 7 points. And then in that Colts game, they gave up 24. But the offense was clicking on all cylinders in both games. Not to mention, with Josh Gordon being in the mix, Julian Edelman tweeted out this week, and I quote, "I can't wait to see what we're going to do Sunday because of the fact that Josh they're trying to get him affiliated into the offense and get him more acclimated, and they can't wait to see what the future holds for the rest of the season," which is not good for the NFL because now you know, and I told you this before, with Josh being in the mix, have fun.
That all sounds great. Who are you picking?
I'm going to roll with New England.
I can't believe you said here.
But it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to say 41-33. I think it's going to be high-scoring.
41-33, and you have New England winning 41-33?
Yep.
I'm scratching my head on that one right there.
There's no need to scratch because the Chiefs can't win on the road. The Chiefs have the number 25 defense in the league.
We're going to have to revisit this one next weekend. I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to stand firm as to what I've been saying every week.
I know. You're going to pick the Chiefs. Just so you know, folks.
I'm going to pick the Chiefs for 2 reasons.
Okay.
One, because I strongly believe that New England, this is the time that they have to start to think about rebuilding. This is not the New England team that we've been seeing. That's one. The second reason I'm gonna pick the Chiefs, as I did 3 weeks ago, is because it's a Chiefs weekend. The Redskins, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the District Heights Chiefs homecoming. So when these 3 things happen together, it's a win-win for everyone. So that's the reason I'm picking the Chiefs. This is a Chiefs weekend.
Yeah, and I'm gonna. Okay, so I like that little soliloquy.
And I like that blue. That's District Heights blue.
I like that little soliloquy you just had. So that's fine. Niners, Packers, unanimous decision. Obviously, Packers. Like, come on now. You know you're not gonna pick the Niners. You can't even believe the Niners are gonna win this one. If you believe that, then folks, this is gonna be the upset of the season because I am not gonna pick against Aaron Rodgers in this game.
Well, Shane, they have to win. I mean, this is an NFL professional team, so they can win on any given Sunday.
Well, that's gonna be.
But it won't be this Sunday. I gotta go with Green Bay. I'm not a fool.
Yeah, Packers.
And plus, it's too many of you all out there that actually look and see who we pick and make bets on that. So I'm not going to mislead you. Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Stay away from the Niners, please.
Yeah, they're not way. All right, so in the interest of time, folks, we're going to actually move on to the NCAA football right now. We're going to talk about some of the things that we saw last week. Mr. Unregulated, your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are the Fighting Irish.
I knew you was going to
The Irishman. The
was
Fighting Irishman. Yes.
I knew you was going to bring them up. Why? You just like to do things to spite me, and that's fine.
There's a big game this
That's
week.
fine.
There's a big game this weekend too.
Who?
Who's Wisconsin playing?
I'm not worried about Wisconsin.
This is a big weekend because I actually have family going up to Wisconsin for Family Day up there. This is Family Day for Wisconsin students, and there's a big game this weekend. And Shane, the only reason I'm sitting here now is
you
because
do know that game's in Michigan, right?
Oh,
So,
it is.
You know. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
So, you
Well,
know.
it's still a big game on campus. Everybody is gearing up and preparing to watch this game. So, and I'm sure that they have locations where the students and family get together for this huge game.
That's fine. If I had to roll between those two teams to win, I'm gonna roll with Wisconsin in this one. Okay.
Badgers.
I'm gonna roll with the Badgers because the thing about the Badgers, for years they've always had a great defensive line. Their defensive line has always been great. I mean, look at J.J. Watt, arguably one of the best D linemen in the league. They've always had great D linemen. They always get after the quarterback, but they can run the football so almost as good as Alabama, and that's saying something. They run the football very well. Their quarterbacks don't really make too many mistakes, but they don't really have to do too much, And honestly, they're just that one team in the Big Ten that they may get that one loss all season, but they're just a really good football team. And it's not like they've been doing it for just like one season or two seasons. They've been doing it consistently. Michigan, on the other hand, I can't trust them.
What did they do last week?
Yeah. I can't trust Michigan. I don't know which Michigan I'm getting every week. One week I get the Michigan that they smack them, they run the football well, they throw the football well, and then the very next week they turn over the ball like 4 or 5 times and still expect to win a football game. I don't know which Michigan I'm getting, but I'm pretty sure in this game, because they're playing Wisconsin, because I know how Wisconsin is, that is a pesky football team. Yeah, I think the Badgers is gonna bite them Wolverines real quick. I'm going with the Badgers.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a Badger lover. I support the Badgers. However, I don't think this is the week they win.
Really?
Yeah, you're not going up into Michigan. I don't care how pesky and bad you are. You're not going up into Michigan and expect to win. Michigan is desperate.
They may be desperate.
They're desperate. Yeah, this will be a win for Michigan. This will be a slow, sloppy game.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me if this score in this game is 21-20.
Okay.
This is going to be a slow game. Ball control, clock control. So, but I'm going to give the edge to Michigan because those fans up there, those 90,000 plus fans up there. What is it? Is it 90,000 or is it 101,000 in that stadium?
It's 101, I think.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
If that's not a 12th man, then what is?
I don't know. We'll see. Moving forward, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this game. I think it's going to be one of the largest. Washington and Oregon. Oregon is at home. Washington looks pretty good. Coach Leach is doing his thing. I like Jake Browning, though. He's a heck of a quarterback. I think he's going to be a really good pro someday. I just don't think he's going to do it against Oregon, though. I just don't think he's going to do it against Oregon because Oregon's defense has always been pretty stellar. They got a great D-line this year. They get after it. And then plus on top of that, I like the quarterback from Oregon. Oregon is just a heck of a team. And the thing about it is Jay Herbert from Oregon, he's throwing 15 touchdown passes and only 5 picks. That's probably the reason why. And Browning, he's struggling a little bit. 9 touchdown passes, only 5 interceptions this year. So he's struggling a little bit. That's why I'm like, they're going to Oregon. Yeah, I got Oregon winning that one. Sorry.
Hey man, them Oregon uniforms are absolutely amazing, aren't they?
I love the Ducks.
Yeah, I love the duck too.
Yeah.
I'm ducking. I'm staying away from the Ducks this week.
Yeah.
Washington, what are they ranked right now?
Number 7.
Number 7 in the country. Do you think they actually going to go and lose to Oregon right now, ranked number 7?
I mean,
Excuse me.
We seen a lot of teams ranked. My Oklahoma Sooners was ranked number 7 last week, and they lost to number 19 Texas. So you can't really.
This is a team that is looking to break the top 5, looking to get into the top 5, looking to get into the playoffs. This will be a big win for them. This is the win that solidifies all the wins that they have. This is a for real team. I'm going to say Washington, and I'm going to say they control and they dominate.
There you heard it. So he said, So he said that Washington is going to control the football and they're going to dominate.
And dominate.
Okay. Biggest game of the week: LSU in Georgia. I'm not even thinking about this one. It's Georgia. I'm not even thinking about it. I like how LSU's playing, but I gotta roll with Georgia.
Where are they playing at?
Are they playing in the Bayou? They're playing in the Bayou. They're playing down there with the snakes and the gators. You ever had gator before?
No, I haven't. I heard it's really
it's
really good. I heard the meat is just so fluffy and so juicy.
Mm-hmm. I did hear gator's good, but
we need to go down there.
Yeah, but them Bulldogs.
Somebody invite us down there. Invite us down there. We'll come.
Yeah, I think the Bulldogs got this one.
Well, when you talk about gators and then you talk about a bulldog is no match for a gator. So, so what I'm saying is this: I'm saying LSU.
LSU's a tiger. You know?
Yeah. So,
but these Bulldogs is not your typical.
I'm getting to it.
Yeah.
So when we talking about a gator will just swallow this bulldog up, right?
Right.
Imagine what a tiger's going to do to the bulldog. Imagine what a tiger's going to do to the gator. The tiger's going to have his way with both. I don't think I need to say any more.
We shall see.
LSU.
Okay. Now, this is
that got your mind boggled right there. You thinking like, why is he picking LSU? Why is he?
That's fine. You can pick them all you want. This is a game that I really, and a team actually that I've really been kind of following, but a lot of people's not giving them no respect. They're gonna play Memphis, and it's University of Central Florida, UCF. They're undefeated again. Nobody's giving them respect because of who they've been playing.
Memphis, that's SEC, right?
Memphis?
Yeah.
No.
What is that? What conference are they from?
I believe they're in the MAC conference.
Why do I have them SEC?
I'm just trying. I'm sorry, the AAC.
AAC.
Yeah, American Athletic Conference. Nobody cares about them though.
Well, I mean, I'll have to go with the UFC. I mean, I don't know anything. I don't know much about Memphis.
I mean, Brian White is throwing for 15 touchdowns and only 1 pick. I mean, the quarterback for Memphis is pretty good. He's a pretty solid guy. I like him. And then they got a really good running back. I think his name is DJ Henderson. But he's good. He has 934 yards rushing and over 12 touchdowns. He's a really good. Is a good back. But it's just that with Central Florida, they have a good defense, and they are trying to get themselves into the college football playoff. But I've always said this before.
But that ain't happening.
It's not going to happen, not unless if those top teams in the top isn't in the top. First off, all those teams in the top 9 will all have to lose in order for them to even get somewhere up there.
I still don't. I mean,
and everybody this is why I was saying that maybe the college football players need to expand because. Yeah. It's kind of unfair because it reminded me of the Boise State situation when Boise State was undefeated all those years, and then they finally get this shot to play Oklahoma, the Sooners. And mind you, at that time, that Sooners team couldn't be stopped. It couldn't be stopped at that time. Next thing you know, they beat them.
Yeah,
because they had the opportunity.
they definitely need to do something with this playoff system. I mean, it needs to be expanded.
Expanded. I think it should go to at least 8 teams, or
Maybe 10 teams. Maybe
well,
10
I was
teams.
thinking. Well, I actually was thinking 16.
16.
Because
that
16,
may
if
be,
you think about it, you could break it up 8 teams on 2 different sides. Number 1 plays number 8, and as I said, wherever they're seated on the east side, and then seated on the west side. Then you just run them all the way down to the national championship. It's a very simple system.
You know, I thought about 16 teams, but that may be too much because when you look at the matchups, if you look at it, the number 1 ranked team, when they play the number 12 team, they still usually smash them. So when we talking about 16 teams, I say 10 teams.
But I say there's a more likely chance you're gonna get an upset. Trust me.
But that's what you don't want. You don't want a lucky team to come and upset the.
Yes, you do, because that's the whole point. What do you think March Madness is about? It's about the same thing.
That's not good. That's not good for the ratings. It's not good for TV. You want your top teams to be.
No. Nobody
it's
wants
business.
to see. No,
it is a business.
No. You don't want to see the same. People are starting to get tired of seeing, like, when people see Alabama now, they feel like, oh, Alabama, okay, there's no
the
point
NCAA is not tired of it.
No. Who cares about what the NCAA as it says? It cares about what the fans want. Do people
the fans want Alabama?
No, they don't.
Okay, let's put TCU in the mix in the national championship game. Let me do this. Let's go Alabama. Let's go Georgia. Or let's go Alabama. Let's go Ohio State. And then we got TCU sitting here on the outside.
Hey,
who do you take? Do you take Ohio State out and put TCU in? Do you take Alabama out and put TCU in?
It's more exciting to see a team that's never been there before. It's much more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but it just is not going to happen because that's not what they want. When we talk about marketing and you're talking about filling up a stadium.
So you're saying the games are fixed in order to make sure that they get there. That's what you're saying?
I mean, there is some thought put into it, yes. But because you don't want the TCU fan base is nowhere near bigger than Alabama, Ohio State, or any of these big schools. So when you're talking about, 100,000 tickets need to be sold to play in the stadium, we're talking about, okay, it's easy if you got Ohio State and Alabama to sell those tickets. It's much more better for the environment or whatever city that the game is taking place in because you have all of these people coming to support their team. You put TCU in there, you may not even sell a stadium out. Or if you do sell a stadium out, you're going to have a very small section of TCU. I mean, you have to look at the dynamics of it. I mean, it doesn't work. Yes, I root for the underdog. I would love to see it happen, but I just don't think it will. And 16 teams is just too much. And so, I mean, 10 teams may be great. You take your top 2 teams and you put them on. You put one on the north and one on the south, and then you let the other 8 teams fight it out. And you have 2 rounds. And the winner out of those 8 teams, 4 on each side in those 2 rounds, get to play the number 1 and the number 2 seed. And the number 1 and the number 2 seed is simply determined by who's number 1 and who's ranked number 2.
Again, that's all well and good, but Then after that, I got. This is going to be a really interesting one to me. Texas A&M and South Carolina, 4-2 Texas A&M, and South Carolina sitting at 3-2. I think that's going to be an interesting game. The only problem that I have with that game is that Texas A&M is going to South Carolina. I'm not so sure how that's going to end, but I can tell you right now, TAMU they better figure it out.
That game, I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue about that game. That's a game that if I had to choose, I would probably choose South Carolina, just because I have a South Carolina shirt, a brand new South Carolina shirt.
Now here's my upset pick of the week. My upset pick of the week is Pitt is going to beat Notre Dame in Notre Dame. I'm gonna pick Pitt to win. Don't let me down though, because if y'all let me down, I'm gonna be very upset.
Killing me over here.
Okay, so Pitt, you got a chance here. Don't blow it. You got a chance. Don't blow this pick now, because if you blow this pick, I'm going to be coming for you as if all you Pitt Panther fans out there. There is no reason why you should lose to Notre Dame, because I'm sorry, I don't understand how this team gets ranked every year and they play the way they play. That was cute what they did last week. That was cute. Not this week. Pitt Panthers, baby. Go Panthers!
Unbelievable. Are you seriously picking the Panthers to beat Notre Dame?
Yep. Sean McCoy might be at the game too, by the way. Maybe Darrell Reeves.
I don't know. I think we need to take a commercial break. We need to get you some water.
Well, fortunately, that's life. But ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time, we're gonna actually just move right along and go right ahead, and talk about some of these other things that have gone on in sports today. But yeah. So let's talk about it. So I don't know if you saw this. How do you feel about this man, Khabib and McGregor? These two fools. So this past weekend, folks, everybody knows, what happened with Conor McGregor and Khabib. Khabib clearly beat the brakes off of Conor McGregor, but McGregor ended up saying some very inappropriate comments about Khabib's, religion, his father, and all that other stuff. And then a huge brawl broke out, and then with Khabib's people and McGregor's people, and it broke out into power, and people got hurt, of course. Three people from Khabib's squad had gotten arrested. They were taken into custody by law enforcement in L.A. County. So that's what it is. And then on top of that, Khabib's check has been withheld. Mr. Unregulated, your thoughts?
First of all, it sounds like it's gonna be some more ass kicking going on if you don't give me my check. I don't see how you can hold a check when he already did. He performed and did what he was supposed to do.
Well, they was holding the check mainly because of the fact that Khabib had started the brawl.
I don't care who started it. I put on the show that I was supposed to put on.
That's true.
What happened afterwards or whatever? Look, give me my money.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm still telling you. They suspended both fighters at this point. This guy. If you look at the stats of these two, he's 27-0. This guy got a couple of losses on his record. Look. This is how I feel about this. Should he still get paid? Absolutely. I believe he still should get paid because at the end of the day, he did perform. He did win. Mm-hmm. I do believe that, UFC has got something to figure out.
What they have to figure out is who's giving them the K2.
That's very well and true, but at the end of the day, he did what he did. There's nothing anybody could do about it. And McGregor, I knew he was going to lose this fight.
You did.
I did. I picked Khabib to win this fight. I picked him to win this fight.
You should have told me about that because I could. They said the odds were pretty good. You could have laid a couple of $1,000 down on that.
Yeah, because I told people that Khabib was going to win that fight. I'm like, because that dude has got more fire in him than McGregor. McGregor thought he could box him. This ain't boxing, bro. You're not fighting Mayweather right now.
Well, when did McGregor become a boxer?
His trainer has always said that McGregor was a better boxer than he is as a UFC fighter. Now he's had a lot of success as a UFC fighter. No question. The guy got 24 wins. You clearly have had some success as a fighter in UFC. But his trainer was like he's actually a better boxer. And which he tried but it's just that you're fighting a guy who's a grappler. And he's a grappler. His job is to try to grapple you. So, he may throw a few punches and a few kicks, but once he gets in close, he was able to grapple him, get him on the ground, force him to submit. And he tapped. And McGregor tapped. That was it. Simple as that. Nothing else to it. Nothing else to it. I told people that was going to happen. But, it is what it is. Now, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, My final thoughts on this topic: Khabib probably should have thought that through before he went after him. I get you was upset. I understand he talked about your religion. He disrespected you, but everybody knows this is Conor McGregor. He's been doing this since who knows how long. He's disrespected everybody. Like, that's just what it is. He even did it to Floyd Mayweather, but you didn't see Floyd Mayweather going after him after the fight. Floyd Mayweather was like, dude, I just beat the brakes off you. I don't care. I already smacked you anyway. And then those two fighters ended up with mutual respect for each other. And look at they both made some money. Really good money.
So is Khabib that pissed off that
over him talking about his religion?
You know what? I'm going to give you a rematch because I want you in the ring again so I can kick your butt again. Is that what this is about?
That's what I would have did, but it is what it is. But that's what happens. And now look at
so is there a rematch coming?
Because this honestly, seems like if I'm UFC, I wouldn't even allow that rematch to happen. If I'm the UFC commissioner, I would not allow that rematch to happen. Because the problem is with these two, they're both hotheads. Especially him. Like, McGregor is who he is. Like, McGregor, it was very obvious who he is. But him, on the other hand, he was a whole nother animal. I mean, he didn't I'm the type of person that, like, I already beat you in the ring. I can care less what you say about me after the fact, because it's like, okay, fine, you don't even know my dad, and as far as my religion is concerned, you can talk about my religion all you want. At the end of the day, I already smacked you up in the ring. I already beat you. So I'm about to get paid. So you can get out this ring and go home, buddy. Bye. Simple as that. But you're going to send your whole squad after his people and then have your boys attack McGregor after the fact? That's saying something. Says a lot about Khabib's character. I'm just saying, I already beat you. There's no need for me to beat you down even more. I already beat you. So, anyway, moving on. Next one. We're going to talk about this really quickly. Eric Reid! Yes! My man got a job. And a statement put out by Ron Rivera, the head coach of the Panthers, about Eric Reid's, when he was asked about Eric Reid still protesting the national anthem. He said that he's okay with him doing the protests. I'm happy that he got a job. Now, somebody, close to me, who's an attorney, and actually spoke about this because I was thinking to myself, will this hurt his collusion case? He also filed against the NFL the same as Colin Kaepernick. And from what that person has told me, no, it's not going to hurt him because of the fact that he filed this at a different time, because at that time, they did collude against him to not allow him to play in the NFL. So it's not going to hurt him at this point because of the fact that the facts are that's what happened at that time. So those are the facts. And that's the only thing that can be used in court. So no matter now in the court of public opinion, that remains to be seen. Mr. Unregulated, your thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts about it. I mean, I just want to see how it's going to play out. I'm just waiting for it to play out and see what happens. Mm-hmm. My only concern is that didn't the NFL put something in place where they had that they couldn't kneel, and they still going to allow him to kneel? Who's going to pay his fine? Are the Panthers paying his fine, or I mean,
he already got his fine money ready, so it doesn't even matter.
It just doesn't. It seems like it's more to this than what we have. What we are privileged to know. Mm. So only thing we can do is just wait and see how this plays out, because if he starts to do this every week, there are going to be other players that are going to say, I'm going to do it too.
Right.
And then this whole big thing comes back up again. Even with the NFL putting things in place that says you must stand or you stay in the locker room.
Well, then let me ask. Well, then since you brought that up, let me ask you this: do you think that Eric Reid should continue to kneel?
If that's what he believes in, I mean, yes. If you believe in what and that's the problem with our community today, is that we don't stand for nothing, and then when we do stand for something, we get tired of standing and we sit down. Yeah, yeah. Please continue. I mean, I'm happy that you're back in the NFL, and if you would not, if you would have came back into the NFL and you would have stand, then I probably wouldn't say your name again. Like the same thing that's pending with Kaepernick. But because you're back in the NFL and you're still going to stand for what you believe, hey, thumbs up. All I can do is support you, and I just want to see how this plays out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we've already given our thoughts about that, so we're now going to talk about baseball. Because I've been waiting to get you.
The Nationals.
I've been waiting to get you all week long. I have been foaming at the mouth.
The Nationals are in it to win it.
Yeah, sure they are. I've been foaming at the mouth all week because I've been waiting to see you.
Hey, Gio Gonzalez is starting game 1, right?
Good. Who cares? I'm not worried about him. I've already told you this before. Who's going to stop the Boston Red Sox? You sat in that chair, ladies and gentlemen. He sat in that chair right there and said the New York Yankees was going to beat the Red Sox. In what lifetime? That was years past, homie. Aaron Judge was not enough. I told you that. I knew they didn't have a chance. Now, I want to hear your thoughts now that the Red Sox did made it. Because now they're going to see the Astros. This is going to be fun. Your thoughts?
Well, congratulations to the Red Sox for getting past the Yankees. Hey, whoopie-doo. But you haven't made the World Series yet. You haven't won the AL yet.
So I mean,
you still got some work to do.
The disrespect is so real.
Huh?
Listen, the disrespect is so real.
But the Boston Black Sox. I mean,
did you just call my
the Red Sox?
He is so disrespectful. You are so disrespectful. How are you really gonna sit? Okay. So let me make sure I got this correct. So you're thinking that the Houston Astros are going to beat the Boston Red Sox?
I'm hoping they will. I don't know. I mean,
you're hoping
we'll
they
have
will.
to see. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, anybody can win. Anybody can win. I mean, it's not a lock that the Boston Red Sox are going to beat the Astros. It's not a lock. People may give their predictions and say that they will do this, but I mean, there's always.
Mr. Unregulated. Are you feeling okay today?
I'm unregulated, and I'm telling you that it's not a lock. Don't be surprised if they get upset.
No, I'm not going to be surprised because they're not going to get upset. That's just what it is. This team is too good to not make the World Series. So what makes you...
Okay, so you saying you're satisfied with making the World Series?
No, I'm not satisfied. I want them to win it all. I'm pretty sure they are going to win it all, honestly.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm sorry, Black Sox fans.
Well, the ALCS, I feel like they're going to get to the World Series regardless. But in the NLCS, who do you think's going to win?
I mean, I don't know. The Nationals are not in it, so I'm really not following the NL.
Come on, man. Come on.
But what I will say is that, the White Sox, we're waiting to see what the White Sox are going to do. Black Sox, White Sox, Red Sox, Blue Sox.
I'm just trying to understand why. When did you become so disrespectful? I'm trying to look. Okay, here's the situation, right? The Dodgers are going to play the Brewers. I think the LA Dodgers are probably going to do their thing. I'm pretty sure of it. Do I think that the Brewers have a chance? Oh yeah, of course. They got home field advantage.
But that depends on what happens in the game 1 with Gio starting. So I mean,
Right, and I agree with you there. Mm. So that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, now either one of these teams, I don't think either one of them are going to beat the Red Sox in the World Series if the Red Sox get there.
You don't think the Dodgers will beat the Red Sox in the World Series?
No, not even a little bit.
You have to be joking. What you ate Bowley's pizza today or something? I mean, your brain is.
Oh, you are disrespectful. Don't sleep on Bowley's pizza now. don't be disrespectful.
That's the first name came to mind.
Look, all I'm saying is you can't sit here and say that the Red Sox are not going to win this all. With the way they've been playing, the odds were already stacked against them, and everybody made it seem like the Red Sox was not even going to have a chance in winning. I'm telling you this right now. The Red Sox are going to kill it. It is what it is. The Dodgers, they may have that chance against the Brewers. I don't see how, ladies and gentlemen, the Brewers are going to win it all. It is what it is. So, that's all I got to say.
Well, you heard it here first, Mr. Hector here. Good luck. That's all I can say to you because I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to the to the major leagues now. But yeah, I don't see where Boston will. If Boston is this big bad wolf that can't nobody bring down.
That's what. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time. We are out of time. Look at that, Red Sox versus the Astros.
I'm trying to figure out, is it spelled wrong?
No.
You sure that's not spelled wrong?
I'm positive. Well,
that says red.
Very funny. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we are out of time, so we're gonna just go ahead, and I want you guys to go ahead and follow us on social media. Look at the Dodgers and Brewers. That was so beautiful. Follow our YouTube page at No BS No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show. I want you to go ahead and go and watch it on YouTube for those of you who couldn't catch it during the live show. Then I want you to go to the No BS No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show viewer group on Facebook. I want you guys to go ahead and do that for us. We would love to hear your input, and we want to hear you guys send us some topics. If you guys want us to debate a particular subject, please let us know. We would love. I'm always paying attention to it. So is Mr. Unregulated. We will definitely listen to you. No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk.blogspot.com. That's our blog. So if you want to go ahead and comment on there, you can do that as well. But follow us on that as well. Go ahead and follow my social media at Shane Hector at insane_Shane29, underground SP29, shiz_29, and No BS, No Holds Barred for Instagram, and underground sports LLC.blogspot.com. Mr. Unregulated. Social media, sir.
The Instagram social media is Mr. Unregulated for you.
And there is it. And there you got it. And then also Dana Tennant on Facebook. If you want to advertise with the show, go to Underground Sports LLC at gmail.com. It's Unregulating. You want to take us out?
It's a Chiefs weekend. Let's go,
God.
Chiefs. District Heights Chiefs homecoming. Let's go. Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go. Washington Redskins. The head chief. Let's go. No BS. Sports show. Let's go.
Peace.